local people, local news and events, local sports, local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, thanks for joining us here at Border City Furniture, your 100% locally owned and operated furniture store. We are excited to be in downtown Lloydminster with Calvin and Ryan. And Border City Furniture has a focus on Canadian-made quality products. So we want to thank Border City Furniture for once again hosting the Border City PROspectives today. It is a positive look at all the great things about our city. And joining us this week, we have Lana Lane, local businesswoman, advocate, and a lady of many, many hats. We also have a brother and sister team joining us as they're both business owners. Kathryn Edwards owns and operates Center Stage Studios in downtown Lloydminster, and her brother Jim Taylor owns and operates Grinding Gears. He also serves on City Council and has done so now for about a year. SwiftNet.ca is now available in Lloydminster, Cold Lake, North Battleford, and surrounding communities. Get local internet that you can rely on with no data caps and starting at just $39.99. And because they're local, you won't spend hours on hold anymore. It's unmatched customer service. Call 306-825-7111 today or visit swiftnet.ca. Well, the Cade Foundation will hold their first From Heartbreak to Healing, One Step at a Time run or walk on Sunday in Vermilion at the Vermilion Provincial Park. The Cade Foundation is a perinatal support organization, and Alexa Conlon is a nurse who, through the loss of her own child in 2022, has identified a need for more support, specifically in rural areas. So the walk run starts at 10:30, and she told us that they hope to generate more support and, more than anything, awareness.
But it comes down to awareness. It comes down to at least one day this year you will have a safe place to feel the heavy emotions if you need. And we have memorial badges made up, so it's I Walk Run For, and then, you know, it's an opportunity to see your baby's name on your friend or family member who's walking with you like that.
If you're headed downtown on Saturday to check out our friends at Cliff Rose for Clothes Sidewalk Sale, Market, and Entertainment, you can also plan for lunch. The Lloydminster Parent Cheer Group will be holding a barbecue at Cliff Rose for Clothes from 11 to 2. It's one of the many initiatives from the Parents Cheer Group this year. And I have no doubt that some of those parents, because they've actually the same ones that have contacted me about the Cheer Barbecue, will then be heading over to help out with Rod Kirby Day. Now that starts at 2 p.m. at St. Mary's Field and will feature a concession, silent auction, and 50-50, all in support of Lloyd Minor football. Bin Blitz starts today in the Dick Jones Sales Pavilion, and the doors will be open until 8 p.m. Carla Whiting with Bin Blitz told us that items today are $25. The price drops to $15 tomorrow, $5 on Saturday, and just $2 on Sunday.
There'll be more added to it, so there'll be good stuff every day. And so Friday we'll open the doors at 9 a.m. and we'll be there till 7 p.m. And then Saturday we'll be back at 9 a.m. with some fresh stuff and staying there till 6 p.m. And Sunday, 9 a.m., but we're done at 4 p.m.
Time now for Live in Lloydminster, and there are some big shows coming to the Vic Juba Theatre, including performances, comedians, magic shows, local productions, and more. And there's some terrific country music coming to the Vic Juba Theatre, including Jess Moskalouk on her Life for Me tour, which is Tuesday, October the 7th. Moskalouk continues to rack up the hits since becoming the first Canadian female country artist since Shania Twain to achieve Canadian Platinum single status with Cheap Wine and Cigarettes. And speaking of Shania Twain, you can catch Shania Twain and Friends on the Ulmer Chev stage November 4th. Direct from the UK, featuring Europe's leading Shania Twain tribute, Shania Twain and Friends is backed by some of the UK's finest musicians to make up the X-Country Band. It's a high-energy, fast-paced show that focuses on Shania's music in the first half and celebrates some of the greatest country stars of the 90s and 2000s in the second half, including Garth Brooks, Lone Star, and the Zac Brown Band. Go to vicjubatheatre.ca for tickets to both Jess Moskalouk and Shania Twain and Friends this fall.
And May Cinema 6 has $8 movies all September long, and that includes a new romantic date night movie that you won't want to miss.
A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey opens at May Cinema 6, and so you can grab a date and head to the theater. It's a romantic fantasy film starring megastars Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell as Sarah and David, single strangers who meet at a wedding and soon, through a surprising twist of fate, find themselves on a big, bold, beautiful journey. It's a funny, fantastical, sweeping adventure that they go on together where they get to relive important moments from their respective lives.
Also showing at May Cinema 6, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle,
The Conjuring Last Rites, Bad Guys 2, The Long Walk, Him, Downton Abbey the grand finale, and Saturday and Sunday matinees of the 30th anniversary of Toy Story. Get showtimes and tickets for all upcoming movies, including A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey at maytheaters.com.
Live in Lloyd is brought to you by the Vic Juba Theatre and May Cinema 6.
We'll keep those nominations coming in for Meals in the Fields and a chance to win a wrap-up party for up to 50 people. It's been a smooth harvest for most of the farmers we've talked to, and one of those farmers is Garth George, who also owns Bradley Air Spray. Well, farmers are eligible to win not only a wrap-up party for up to 150 people, but you could also win 160 acres of spraying from Bradley Air Spray. Just visit our Facebook page to nominate a farmer, and we want to thank Farm Credit Canada, Diamond 7 Meats, Tent Guys, Asset Link Heavy Equipment Sales, Vical Agro, Sobeys Lloydminster, Bradley Air Spray, and the Gary Melka Foundation. Gary Melka Foundation is a gentleman who passed away a number of years ago, and he left some dollars behind for Meals in the Fields. And a heads up to keep an eye on our pages this afternoon as we deliver more Cupcakes for Caregivers. Nominate a caregiver by emailing livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. Cupcakes for Caregivers presented by Sobeys Lloydminster and Umbrella Marketing and Design Inc. It's not just a name, it is Superior Water. Superior Water has 2 locations in Lloydminster, and they're open on Sundays to make filling your Big Blue jugs a whole lot quicker and easier. And if you want great tasting water right from your tap, call Superior Water and ask about their under-the-sink reverse osmosis systems. 780-875-6636. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste, and after all, it is Superior Water. Open on 57th Avenue, Monday to Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 5. And don't forget they have a coin-operated location right by 7-Eleven, just off Highway 17 South. We'll be right back here at Border City Furniture, where they will help you turn your house into a home in just a moment.
At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with a Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Hello, Lloydminster! We are thrilled to bring the Bin Blitz pop-up sale. This is drop every day, starting Thursday at $25, Friday at $15, Saturday is $5 day, and wrapping up on Sunday with $2 day. Join us on Thursday, September 18 for the first Bin Blitz sale at the Lloydminster exhibition in the Dick Jones Pavilion. The most fun you have ever had saving money.
BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and will help you get your life back. 1-833-246-8326. BioClean Disaster Services is celebrating 10 years in Lloydminster this year, and they are the local restoration company. They're also Lloydminster's largest restoration company, and they will take care of your belongings and your property, but more than anything, take care of you and your family. 1-833-246-8326. Well, thanks for joining us today for the Border City PROspectives here at Border City Furniture, winners of multiple Downtown Business of the Year awards, by the way. And we want to thank Border City Furniture for hosting us today. Allow us to introduce everybody again. We have Lana Lane with us, local businesswoman, advocate, and award winner. We'll get to that in just a moment. Kathryn Edwards is joining us. She's been on the program many times with Center Stage Studios. And about a year ago, we had this gentleman on our show, Jim Taylor, to talk to us about why he wanted to become a city councillor. And it's been about a year now since Jim has served on city council. So we're excited to welcome you guys into the Border City PROspectives. This is a positive look at all things Lloydminster. And we start with Kathryn and Jim, who grew up here. And
we go way back.
And we're kind of nipping at each other a little bit before we even started. So I was like, oh, is that a thing? Like how, like
Sibling
you guys,
rivalry?
sibling rivalry?
Not
Both
rivalry,
business owners?
but teasing, and
Yeah.
I'm the little sister, so
I think that's quite
I think
obvious.
that's yeah, right.
When you got one boy centered between
Four girls
on each
Yeah.
side,
Yeah.
there's some rivalries.
Okay,
Yeah.
what was it like growing up in Lloyd?
It was great growing up here. Like we had, being in Lloydminster, you have your core group of friends, like our neighborhood, all of our best friends lived in that area. So it was, all of us hanging out together, and it was, just as you go through the years, and then both of us left and came back, and it's nice we still have some of our core group of friends here, made some new friends, and our parents have lived in the same house now forever, for 46 years or whatever.
I walk by it often.
Yeah,
Yes, and you walk by my house too. I
Yes,
always see
I
you on
do.
our
Yeah.
on morning walks too.
Yeah.
So I'm around the corner from them. So it's this community is great because, like just this weekend I was up in Edmonton for my son's hockey, and I'm sitting there going, as much as it's nice that there's a lot there to do, like the commuting and stuff, it's so much more convenient just being here and having people and having that support system here. So it's great.
Yeah.
Jim?
I'll echo the same comments. It was easy growing up here.
Yeah.
You have all your friends close by. Actually, one of my backyard neighbors growing up is my backyard neighbor again. So it's funny that I look out the back door and there he still is. So when we were kids. Lloyd's always been easy to kind of live in, easy to get home, run around. You got all the stuff you need in a small package, and that's kind of why you come back to and set up business. It's easy. There's parts of it that are easy, right? There's the commuting is fast. The town's big but still small. Has everything that you need that's in it, and kind of a fun, easy place to grow up in.
And I think for me too, like for what I do, you don't see a lot of that in a small center, right? So when you're doing things like performing arts and stuff, everyone wants to go to the big cities, and they want to have those careers. But here, you have the kids that want to do that and have the passion to do it, but they didn't have those resources. Like I know me growing up, I kept thinking, I wish I could do musicals and I could do all of this stuff, and there just really wasn't anything there. So it's really great to be back here and to share that passion, and then you see that in the kids and you see that spark with them too. So
Is that the biggest change you've seen in Lloyd?
you mean like in general with
Performing arts?
Performing arts, like
I would say, to jump on that, just like we were talking before we went on the air, is people that left, went and educated, lived in other places, and brought those experiences back here. Mm-hmm. What did I have there? What did I like about Saskatoon, Edmonton, Calgary, Red Deer, all those little cities that we went to school in and that we lived in, and you bring it back here. And then on top of that, you have people that have moved to Lloyd that had those amenities and had those things in those cities, and they bring it back here as well. And then they expect it, they want it. And so you have people that are they're not, not all of Kathryn's students are from Lloydminster. They've moved here from other cities, but they come here and they go, we have a performing arts studio here, or we've got these amenities in Lloyd. So we've got big city amenities that we didn't have as kids that people are bringing and keep bringing, right? And the expectations are there. So people come here and they're like, what are we missing? Let's do it. What are we missing? Let's do it. And you see it in the entrepreneurial aspect everywhere. People are coming here with big ideas because it's a great place to start business and to have a family. So I see the influence is huge.
Like personally, what you were saying, the boom in the performing arts community here has been huge. Like it's been really great to see that interest. Like we're building, and like when
Isn't that because of her?
All because of Kathryn. Oh yeah. Sorry.
A large part of it is, right?
I think.
I know you don't want to take full credit, but like a lot of it is
not
the Vic
to take
Juba Theater
words, but places like the Vic Juba that opened up.
That opened up.
Having that facility too. Yeah. You're right. It's not something where it's a one-man show or taking all the credit, because there is a lot of I have a ton of support from parents, from my own parents, and in the community to get all of this going. Even, shows like this where you're showcasing our kids that are going and doing these competitions, like Caden Strachek, for example.
Yep.
She won her Canada West class, and she was going up against kids that have been on TV. They've done, they have movie credits because they're out in Vancouver. We're in a small center here where it's kind of tricky that way, because even Edmonton and Saskatoon, they have, they can go and these kids can go and do professional theater there. So, but I have people coming and telling us that the shows that they come and see here and the shows that they're seeing kids do in the city, they're on par with each other. So, so really, it's just a matter of being able to, give that opportunity to these kids and watching them go and have careers, because there is kids now that are going and I'm seeing them, have careers. George Chris, I directed him, and it was my first musical that I ever directed at Lakeland College. He's been on a Hallmark movies. He's doing Stratford Festival. He's doing Shaw Festival. Like, he's constantly in Toronto. Like, he's headlining shows. Like, it's so, and I still talk to him. Like, it's so cool that you see these kids that are going and doing this stuff and actually having these really big careers, and telling these kids you can do this here. So that's what's been really, really the most rewarding.
I find it interesting that our panel today is people who have lived here and then moved away and then moved back.
Yeah.
And Lana, you didn't grow up, you came here when you were 10. So basically Lloydminster's been home
for sure.
For the most of your life. But do you remember when you were 10 years old moving to Lloydminster and what the city was like?
We came from Saskatoon, so I was born in Saskatoon, and it was actually my dad working for Rand's Construction at that time, water and sewer. And Rand's Construction wanted to infiltrate a smaller community, and Dad was chosen as the foreman. So it was Rand's Construction out of Saskatoon that said, okay, we want to branch out. We want you to be the foreman. And that's what actually brought my family here. And so when you talk about raising family and being here and leaving, coming home, Lloydminster's home for us. And I look today, my whole family is still here. And our son, who would have gone to university in Calgary, absolutely loves Lloyd, and he is now living in the home I grew up in. So when I go to the house, when I think of the times that I used to have Keegan and Shay, my kids, sitting at the island with my parents because they've rushed home from Bar Colony for lunch, my son is now hosting me at the same counter. And that feels pretty cool, right? So it's neat. To just think about, we're all here. We thought we maybe wouldn't stay here, but Lloydminster's home, and it's still home. Yeah.
What is the biggest change that you saw when you moved away and then came back?
Well, I think for us...
How long were you gone?
So we were gone about 8 years.
That's enough.
Yeah. So we were outside of Calgary, living in Strathmore. So Kevin had taken a position there as a principal of a school. And so... our kids had a good chunk of their childhood, I guess, there. And Keegan and Shay would have gone to Calgary to university. And I guess when we decided to come back, for me, it was really the same as it always had been. It was home, and we decided that we were going to make it, this is where we're going to end our lives, I guess, right? So we're going to build our dream home, and we're going to pit in, and we're going to be involved in community as we always have been. And I guess that was the one big thing for us. We were very active community members when we left, and we just started right back up again when we got here. So many people I knew, and they were still here, and our friends that we would have graduated with were all coming back. So I don't know, it just kind of felt the same, really.
When you left, did you have a feeling that you'd be back?
Actually, no. We thought this was it, right? I don't know, we thought that we were going to raise our kids there. We were going to a new community. We'd probably be put in and teach there forever kind of thing. But yeah, my dad is the one that got us back here, right? And yeah, it's home.
When you think back to when you guys were kids, Kathryn and Jim, what's the biggest physical change in Lloyd? Like, are there any stores that you kind of miss that, like the old
I think
days?
I think that's the biggest thing. It's just the changes in the buildings and stuff, right? You see, you see some of them coming down and new ones going up and stuff, and like I know it's a hot topic right now, but like the Civic Center, like it was a staple in our community, and like even just things like some of the schools that have come down, like where they had built City Hall. So I think just that is like the appearance of the city and the buildings and stuff have come down. But everything, I think, like what you were saying is, the heart of the community has stayed the same.
Yeah.
That hasn't
it's
changed.
still similar. It is tough, bouncing back and forth and seeing buildings change and wearing the council hat to it. You see old buildings that it's time for them to come down, and you're going,
It's that nostalgia, right?
Yeah. Is it time, or listening to my dad? Remember when turn left at where the old Fountain Tire was?
Yeah.
Like, Dad, that was 1989 when they
Yeah.
moved. Like, it's time to change it. So there's parts that you try to remember enough of what it was like to take that idea moving forward and going, it's different, still the same. We can move on. You can remember, have those ideas, and make the new memories. It doesn't always have to be the same to feel the same.
Well, like even like where we grew up, like by Winston there, and my house. So where I'm living now, there used to be field there, and now there's houses there. So you see like the new development and all of that, and those kind of things have changed. And it's interesting when you go back and look at some of those like aerial shots and stuff, and you go, oh, what used to be here, and what used to be there. I think
what was on the business of 50th and 50th?
Yeah, where the Mohawk wasn't that a church back in the day? Now we're doing
was
that.
asking about the downtown meat market where my grandfather's meat market was.
Yes.
And they're arguing back and forth, and I phoned my mom, tell them where it was.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about your grandpa's meat market. Where was that?
So he was a partner with Richard Larson in the meat market near the slaughterhouse. So it is on 50th, kind of where the CIBC and the No Days Spa is. Still in between. There's a parking lot.
Yeah.
So from what I remember, it's where the parking lot sat.
Yeah,
the
his
original
building I think has
meat market
come
was
down.
there.
Yeah, his
that building
was
is
there.
gone, and then it moved to where Extreme Auto is. So it moved over onto that corner later. But,
I think the one thing actually, being nostalgic, where you're just going to sit down and like back in the day with Jim and Kathryn, but no.
No.
But actually the biggest one, and I think you'll agree with me, the one I think that actually affects me the most was my aunt. She had the most, like the best piece of land where her house was. Mm-hmm. It's where McDonald's is now.
On the south, yeah.
And I remember, I think it was
trees,
Randy Marsh
trees,
put a picture up there. Yeah. And oh my gosh, like she had a massive backyard. Like it was huge. And so I think for me, actually, that was probably the one that really hit me when they tore down the house and built. I mean, it's great to have McDonald's, in that area, but that one I think actually, I was really sad when her house came down and they built
Clausen
that
had
up.
signs and more there.
Yes.
And Mick had it, and he still had some of her trees behind his house.
Yes.
And then when he moved out his house, that sat on that lot, then the trees came down too. I was like, It was
It was an
There those
amazing.
things. When you
it
see
was
him come down, you're
amazing.
like,
Yeah.
change is coming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always used to think, like, who wants to live on 17 now? It's so busy, right?
Yeah.
Like
Busy
is
traffic.
busy.
Yeah.
I kind of judge the city on how busy it is by how tough it is to get on 17.
Yep.
Like,
It's busier. It is busier. Like
I find it busier.
Very.
Do you guys find it busier?
Oh, yeah.
I was in trouble this morning because I went to Nissan to have our conversation, and getting from there
It
to
takes a while.
here, it was a long.
Like rush
back
hour,
roads.
5
You gotta know
o'clock.
the back roads.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you take
It
four,
is
you
zigzag.
do. You gotta like I've made
Gotta get
that
on
mistake
49th
when
and come up at 7-Eleven and take the back road
Yes,
down. and-
coming home if I'm picking up the kids from the high school or something, and I get on and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah, it is busy.
should have turned and then went down by Home Hardware. You know, like, yeah, that I think that road gets very congested for sure.
So we talk about how all three of you left and came back, but also all three are business owners. Like, how is the successful business owners? This community has supported you. Like, what was it like when you were starting? Like, it must have been incredibly scary for you.
Absolutely, because I was working at Lakeland College there, and it was a very secure job. There was definitely things, it was always in the back of my mind that just how to properly run a performing arts program and have and just, you know, that kind of thing. It's tricky when you're in an institution like Lakeland College, because there's things that you want to do, but then you have this person, it goes all the way up the ladder, right, to kind of get things approved. So when COVID hit, it was devastating, but it gave me the time to kind of step back and go, okay, you know, like these are the things that I've wanted to do now for a while, but starting up, like they had the space. That's, I think, the biggest thing for me was having us, because you have, you know, now we have up to 100 kids that are coming to the studio. At the time, it was probably about, 50 or 60, but just having a big enough space and being able to afford a big enough space. Like like when we were expanding, my poor realtor, we looked at dozens of places that were going to suit what we needed. And it's a very unique kind of a setup that we need. So yeah, getting started was really scary. I knew I had the support from families and stuff and that kind of thing.
That was going to be my next question.
Absolutely. When I told them what I had taken a year off and I was teaching private lessons out of my basement, which was fun, because you got kids that are wanting to do their things and you have to shush them because you got it. Yeah. So it wasn't ideal for me. Some people like teaching out of their homes, and all the power to them. Didn't work for me. But so yeah, and actually really there was some options that we had thrown around. And really, like my husband, like Corey, he was like, you can do this. And I think for me, I am Jim will tell you this, I am a right brain person. I'm a creative. I'm not sitting down and doing admin stuff. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. I've gotten better at it.
Somebody should do it.
Somebody should do it.
It's
been that has been actually the hardest part for me is that side of it, that organization, all that kind of stuff, just getting all of that stuff together, figuring out online tech stuff with setting up our, and registrations and things like that. Corey is really good at that kind of stuff. He's a techie person, so he's helped me out. But even he has said to me, he's like, you have really you've gotten much better at this kind of stuff. So I'm like, yay, feather in my cap. So, but yeah, that was, I think, the biggest struggle for me getting started. And yeah, like I said, the support was phenomenal. It always has been. And I have a huge group of parents.
Well, we have a huge group of parents behind you telling you to do it.
Yeah.
It kind of takes that scariness and like,
it sure does.
Maybe it could work, right?
Yeah.
So you got people banging at your door telling you it's working.
But I think the word that you use is the support. And I think Lloydminster, when I think of my role and what I do and all the things that I'm involved in, my gift, I think, like you, is the idea generator, let's get going, but you wrap yourself with people, organizations, service agencies, whatever that looks like, that also have a different gift, right, that can help and support the work.
Yeah.
We need the idea generators and we need the go people, like let's do it, let's act. And then you just have to find those people that are going to keep the sequential stuff, the admin stuff, all of the protocol kinds of stuff in line. And I actually think Lloydminster, when I look at all of the committees that I've been involved in, the ones that I've chaired, the people that I've surrounded myself with, we have a huge bank of support in just so many different ways with the gifts of the people that we have in this community.
Yeah.
So for me, Lloydminster is about community and people.
Yeah, lots
Like,
of people stepping up going, what can I do to help,
I
right?
I
Yeah.
totally think that it is a community of what needs to be done, let's get her done, right?
Yeah.
And you just find the people.
And Jim, I can't believe how many people I run into that talk about how you've helped them with their bike, and Jared's one of those people.
Yeah, I was
But
just-
who helped you?
Who helped me get started? Well,
Yeah.
my wife, Amber, she kicked me out of the garage because I had too much product in there. Yeah, it was business in Lloydminster is one of those things that you get that grit, you get that idea, you get going. I kind of always kind of go back to the guys that started High Gear on 49th, Tom and Garth, and the mentors that you get in Lloydminster. And if you got 2 ears and some eyes and you want to listen and see what's going on around you, you can really pick up from those mentors and kind of get that idea. And that was always in the back of my head is those guys showed me about service and helping. I was just saying, we used to help Jared. He'd pull over up on 49th and there he is. All right, go help him, right?
Yeah.
And those guys, Tom and Garth, always were helping people. And so you just kind of take that ball and it sits with you. And when I opened up the store, I didn't think I was going to be that busy, and I didn't think I was going to be living at the store and fixing 800 bikes a year and doing those things, or getting asked to come to events and go to schools to do bike rodeos and those types of things. We just do it because it's it's friends, it's family that they see you open up, they're going to come and help you, and they're going to come and do it. So then you're almost forced into giving back, right? And it's not a bad thing; it's a positive thing. They're coming, they want to see you, they want to see you at events, and so it was definitely scary getting started and taking on. Again, the right people helped me find a lease. The right people helped me find my location. Friends and family, they kick you. And my dad, he helped me renovate the first store, and now he helped me renovate the second store.
Yep.
So I got pictures of him there. I overworked him.
A little bit.
This last move, I overworked him, but he helped me cut the
Hottest week of the
sign
year.
off.
Hottest week of the summer.
Oh, we had to go.
Yeah.
But you know what? When it's go time, it's go time, and people will help you out, and you're there, and friends of mine are sitting there at midnight, help me build the new counters, and then your staff jump in and go. So, yeah, as scary as it is to get into business, it's you know that the support is there, and if you got a good idea and you're a community-minded, helpful person, the people will be there to support you. So I think that's always the cushion, in that.
But our community is full of people like your parents,
Yeah.
right? That would be the foundational people
Yeah, they'll come and help you.
have rocked this community as far as community service and giving
You have a
back.
community
and-
barbecue coming up, they're going to be there.
They'll drop
right? Like,
everything. They're always
what
there.
time's the barbecue?
Pancake breakfasts. They are. That is
They're
their
the
thing.
supporters,
You gotta be there.
All the
You gotta
time.
be there.
If
Yeah.
there's
A
a
couple
pancake
bucks here
breakfast in
or
the
a volunteer.
community, they will be there. But
That's
even
right.
like you said, like Dad, he drives the Tri-Shaw for Border City
I was
Connect.
just thinking about that.
Yeah.
And he organizes it too.
He does,
does
yeah,
now,
yeah.
yeah.
He was
Makes me
he was
fix the
going
bike.
around recruiting people out at the lake this summer, and people were coming up to him, walking by. Someone stopped by our cabin, and I think I'm looking for John Taylor, and because Brant Wheeler had sent him that way.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
So it's
Yeah.
like they've always been involved in the community
Brant,
too, and doing
rubs off.
doing that.
Oh,
It does. It really
And
does.
Yeah, it starts to infiltrate and get you, right? And it's nice. You have families all over Lloydminster that it goes through, and you see the next generation.
Yeah.
They're helping out, and they're coming around, and they're doing those types of things. So.
Yeah.
And giving back like in different ways. Like I've told this story many times about your dad, how he just phoned me one day at the radio station, and I almost hung up on him because I didn't believe it was him.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I talk to your dad every day. So when he phoned and he was like, "Hey Kurt, we're going down to the Grey Cup 2009," and I'm on the air, and he's like, "Yeah, I wonder if you want to come." And I'm like, "Oh, how much are tickets to the Grey Cup? I don't think I can afford to go. Honestly, I don't know if I can." And he was like, "You know what he said to me? He said, all you've done for the community, if I can't treat you to a football game, there's something wrong with me."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I was just like, who is this really?
Yeah.
That's a joke.
It is kind of surreal, Kurt, right? Like, people like that.
I was like,
do it.
Yeah.
Did I just hear what I think I heard?
Yeah.
Because I
events
respect
that
your
go
dad so
to,
much, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You're at as many events, supporting Lloydminster, and you get asked to go do everything. I don't think you say no to anything, right? Like you're at a lot of events.
I don't know. He still keeps turning me
I'm
down when I'm like,
I'm not coming into one of your plays.
Me either.
My dad does.
I know he does.
He does. So you
I
know,
got
there's.
kicked out of her play.
Yeah, he tried. He actually came out. It was actually my first musical. He helped out backstage.
I did.
And he came out during curtain call wearing a sombrero, and I'm like, yeah, go.
You're
figure.
done.
I didn't get invited back.
You're out of there.
You did it just to get her, didn't you?
I didn't want to come back.
No.
I didn't want to be on stage.
But he keeps telling. But
It's
he keeps
amazing
telling.
how
he
you can
keeps-
be so different.
It's true. It's true. So, but he keeps telling me, you should do a mashup of all your musicals, like
I'm
every
taking credit
6
for that.
months.
You've said it out loud now, so I'm taking credit for it when you do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can. You
But
can
then you're
produce
going to
that.
have to be on stage.
I'll bring the sombrero.
Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break here at Border City Furniture. When we come back, we have a recent award winner with us. We want to talk about that. I do want to get into a little bit about the Jared's bike ride this year as well.
Sure.
And we've got a lot more to talk about here at Border City Furniture for the Border City PROspectives in downtown Lloydminster.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at LNA CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at LNA CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. LNA CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
Welcome to Wellings of Lloydminster and a community of ageless explorers. At Wellings, age is but a number and adventure's always part of the day. Come experience carefreedom living at Wellings of Lloydminster, where adults 55 plus enjoy a vibrant, stress-free way of life with a whole lot of fun. And they have a new general manager. They'd love for you to stop in and see her. Say hi to Nicole at 7211 72nd Avenue on the Alberta side. And visit wellingsoflloydminster.com for more. Wellings of Lloydminster, carefreedom living starts here. Well, we officially welcome you back to Border City Furniture for the Border City PROspectives, where their service and quality speaks for itself. And I've known Calvin for many years, and like I said earlier, when I approached him about doing this show and making it a positive thing about Lloydminster, he was one of the first guys there. And he's another one of these guys whose parents, you know, you take that from your parents, right? You get that from your parents. So when we left, I said I want to get into talking about your award. So I think it was back in May, was it? It was in the spring, where you could nominate community members for awards. And we have one of those award winners with us, Lana Lane, for her work with Hub of Healing, has won, I think it was the Advocate Award. Was that what it was?
Yeah, kind of the community builder type. Advocate. Yeah.
But what was that like? What did that mean to
Well,
you? And congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. Well deserved.
Yeah, thank you. I actually got a call from Tyler just to stop in at Residence and Recovery because we touch base all the time. We're always doing work together. And so I was in my shorts and a tank top, and I walked in thinking I was just going to sit in his office and have this little conversation. And then he told me about this award. And I'm like, what? And then when he said we had to have a picture, I was like, oh my word. So I'm holding onto this basket in front of me, trying to hide I just come from the garden, right? Like, I just thought we were, talking about stuff, as we always do. But no, I was very honored. I don't really, like the limelight in that per se. I just feel as a community member, if I have the skill set to do something, I'm giving back. And I believe our community is built on the wonderful things that people are doing already. And my role is a community connector. I want to bring the silos of the work together. And that was the premise, I guess, for the Hub of Healing, is that let's bring the people together that are already doing the work. Let's celebrate what you're doing, but how can we support each other and be more effective? And that really has been the idea behind Hub of Healing, which started in 2021. And it's actually taken us that 4+ years to get where I wanted to be the first day. But I know now we have the right people around the table. We have the go-getters, and it's just wonderful to see all of the amazing things in our community coming together, but being able to support each other. So lighten the load. We're all doing great things, and there's lots of things to be done. But if we each support each other, it's more effective. And that's my role. And so to be honored in that way or appreciated, it's being seen, awesome. But it's not me, it's just the network of people, right? But that was very nice to receive, for sure.
Absolutely. You've done amazing work. And if you ask me, and maybe we'll ask Jim, because he's on city council as well, and Kathryn, you own a business downtown. But if you ask me, there are positive things. We are seeing improvements.
For sure.
I know we're not there yet. We're not.
Right.
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm not saying we're out of the woods or anything. But I see improvements. And when we see over 200 people that came to the symposium in the spring, and we have a gentleman from Calgary that stands up and goes, "Boy, we have one of these in Edmonton." And it was about a quarter of the people that you've got here.
For sure.
And he said this. I'm not saying this. He said this into the microphone. People must truly care in this city about others.
Right.
He said that. I'm not saying he said that. And you're one of those people that because you care, I think you spread the word to make it supports others in caring too.
For sure.
Like it energizes others to care as well.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate that.
appreciate
And
that.
am I wrong? Jim, am I wrong? Are we seeing improvements?
Of course. I've sat on other boards, being in Lloydminster here, and, there was always that time in the past where you felt like everybody was doing good work, but they were doing their work and they weren't joining. And now you're starting to see that. You're starting to see the work, because everybody is doing very good specific work in their areas. But, and yes, the executive directors will get together and talk and those types of things, but you're starting to see more collaboration and more openness to share what you're doing, and stop keeping the cards to yourself, and you're starting to show everybody your hand a little bit and say, this is what I'm doing, what are you doing? And let's not replicate services, let's work together to figure out how do we make those services better. I'm a collaborative person as well. And it's one of those things where more the merrier, let's bring it together. You can still, do your thing. I'm not taking away from you. Let's get the fear down and let's work together. And you're starting to see that. And you're one of the people that's helping push that and open up those doors and let different organizations understand what's going on inside their business, right? Step out from behind your doors, come outside, let's look, let's talk, and make a change. And you're starting to see it. So it's a very positive thing.
Well, I look at even the running for shelter that happened during Recovery Week. When you start seeing like Slim Thorpe come together with residents in recovery, as well as the men's shelter, where years ago that wouldn't have been the case. Men's shelter would have been trying to do their own fundraising, trying to get out doing their thing. There wasn't the collaboration now. I think we really do have the right people around the table to make things happen, and it's exciting. Well, I just got an email this morning, Ariana Lagrange. It was actually forwarded to me because we were talking about the sexual health clinic and the importance of doing something that in Lloydminster. And of course, Saskatchewan fights with Alberta, and it's always that bi-provincial stuff that we are challenged with. But when you get an email forwarded to you saying that you need to, this person that had submitted the letter needs to connect with the Hub of Healing in Lloydminster, I was like, okay, now we're getting on the stage of, we're starting to be appreciated around the table with the right organizations around the table. So when you start to see that feedback, then we know we're making some moves. And that's exciting to me because this group was formed to be action, not just come together and let's all celebrate what we're doing, but let's act on what we're doing and really make a difference in our community for the better. And yeah, it just makes me very proud to just see the growth in the Hub of Healing, the revolving chairs that happen based on what we're talking about or what's being addressed. We don't have the same people all the time. It's revolving. And then, somebody comes back that hasn't been for a while, and it's powerful. And so I've really seen that change, and it just makes me feel good because I think that's what community needs for sure.
And that collaboration.
Yeah. Oh, well, and I mean, when we look at today and the lack of collaboration or what you were just mentioning about, behind social media, it's very easy for us to say things. And when you're actually in a room and you're talking issues and you actually have to confront someone, that is not easy to do. You have to be, courageous and brave all the same. But that's when the work gets done. I can hide behind any social media account and say whatever I want, but we're not getting it done, right? So I'm really looking forward to this year because we've got lots of great things. There's been more granting. I get a call from Grace United Church, and they see and appreciate the work that we're doing, and now they're applying for grants for us because we don't have a budget. This is just a group of people sitting around, let's get stuff done. And now you're starting to see we need to do that. We want to be helping you host this event, activity, whatever it is. Now I know we're getting somewhere. So.
Well, when you contacted me and asked if you could come on and talk about Hub of Healing, I think it was in April.
Yes.
I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And now I see it everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's making a difference. Now, the other person that we saw everywhere in August was your brother, Jared.
Oh, yeah.
What do you even have the final total?
No, I don't, because they actually go till the end of September, so he's still taking in donations. And so right now he's third in the nation for the fundraising, top in Alberta. So he's your number one fundraiser in Alberta. Nice. And he made his goal of
Great Cycle Challenge, by the way.
Yeah, Great Cycle Challenge. So raising money for kids with cancer, but he did make his goal of 1,300 kilometers. He was exhausted. There were bike troubles. I mean, we were at gyms many times, but so for 10 years, over $300,000 raised to help kids battling cancer. And as we've talked many times before, Jared knows the heartache and the pain that families go through. He was a cancer survivor himself. I was 12 when he was diagnosed with that brain tumor. I know what it does to families. Yeah. It either rips you apart or brings you closer together. And when I look at his focus for Great Cycle Challenge in the last 10 years and the community support and the people that have rallied behind him, I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's very heartwarming.
That glow night was special.
Oh,
like you were there, Jim, of course, and I thought it was a special night.
It was, very special.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about. I mean, it was so great that people have asked us, "Are we doing it bigger and better next year?" And I thought, well, we have to figure out how we put glow lights out throughout the park. That was not an easy task. I mean, you're taping on little glow sticks on stakes and you're hammering all these stakes, and you can't really do it till it is dark because you can't really crack those things open until. Yeah. So we need manpower to make a course that's maybe going to be a little bit bigger and better or whatever. But when I think back to the night, the most special part for me was I told Jared after we came out of the sundial area, because everybody was walking and running and they were glowed up and they were all, in the walk and run or whatever. I said, okay, when we get back, are we coming back? I said, everybody let Jared go to the back of the sundial there and then come right in front of him or come walk in front of him. And if you did that, you actually saw your shadow higher and taller than the trees. And there were kids coming flying through on their bikes that were like screaming they were riding in the air, And so when I see little people, older people, I mean, I think our oldest one there was like 78 years old that was doing the walk and part of it. It was a way to network community, young and old, in an activity and an adventure, in the dark, all glowed up. And just, again, bringing community together for a cause. And it was wonderful. Yeah.
Jim, you were there. That was a good night.
It was a great night. Yeah, I don't think I could have not been there. It was
In your fancy bike.
Yeah, had to bring one of the bikes. Yeah. But that's it's one of those things. You just you get pulled in, and when Jared pulls up in front of the store, you can't not help him. You have to go help him. He needs help. You go help somebody, and go join the event and get involved and and learn about them and learn the story and all those types of things. So yeah, the people that came out, I don't know, well, you have a large family as well, right?
Sure.
That sure helps. But
For sure.
you know, everybody that did come out, maybe they didn't know what it was about, and they're going to find more about it. And that's the really cool thing when you host these walks and events and those types of things in Lloydminster. It's not always just about that core group of people. It's about the people that are looking in and want to know more about it, and then they're going to learn more. And maybe the event's the same size next year. Maybe it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Who knows? It probably is going to be bigger next year. And you plan and you go and you do it again, and it's great. And
Well, the number of people that were asking, what is this all about? Because
Yeah,
people
they
that were just walking the
they
park.
weren't real sure.
Yeah.
They were like, what is this all
What's
about?
happening?
So it was a way, again, of educating the community on a cause.
Well,
right?
people see
And-
Jared biking all over.
Yeah.
You know, and they just look at him as a guy in a recumbent bike sitting down with some flags. They don't
Yeah.
really know the story.
For
you
sure.
know, and you know, and I think there's lots of people in Lloydminster that have that story, and you just need more people to pay attention, right?
Yeah.
Pay attention to it, and
Well,
go
it's the
help and get
stories that
involved.
connect people together.
That
And I
as
think
well,
in our
yeah.
world of chaos and chaotic, whatever we are in right now, we need the connection, right? And if I know a little bit more about you, Kurt, right, I'm going to be more compassionate and caring and understanding of your story and your journey. And
Everything.
But we need to know more about each other, right? I think there's just too much isolation, too much individualistic kind of stuff. We're in a materialistic world, and we're isolated. But it's the stories that connect people, and it's the stories that bring people together and make us better. And I just think we have to be better as a whole to make that happen, right?
And having conversations in person, right? You know, like, and
Well, get to
and
know-
really
get to know your
listening, getting
neighbors
to
again.
getting
Get
to know
your neighbors. And Startup
exactly.
Lloydminster Community Futures did a business walk yesterday, and they went around seeing, you know, and having first-hand conversations with business owners like ourselves, you know, like the guys behind us here that don't always get to leave their business because they are a one-man, two-person, one, you know, two-woman show, whatever it's going to be, and you don't always get to leave your business and get out and go see the community. And so when events come up and somebody asks you to be involved, you sometimes just shut the doors and get involved and get out and go do it and learn and see who they are. Yes, you might know their face, but you don't really know who they are. And that's that's one of the positive things about Lloydminster is your neighbor's right there. Walk outside and go talk to them. You know, go next door, introduce yourself.
You know, just say hi to the person crossing
Or
the
just
street.
say hi.
Right? Like, it's just make that acknowledgement. I remember going to, we were getting some drugs for my dad when he was not well, and we went to the pharmacy to get his drugs in and out. 2 hours. Because my dad was the social guy. He was the guy that enjoyed the coffees, sit down, get the stories. And I think about now that he's passed and the number of people that have come up to me and had stories about my dad that maybe I didn't know. Okay, that all makes sense now, right? I didn't realize maybe that dad had done that, but knowing my dad, not surprising, right? And that is why I think he was so well liked and, you know, well respected and all that kind of stuff. It didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter if you were the guy that came off the street now and is working at Rustway. He was going to help you and make you the best that you could be. And I think that's all of our roles, right? What can I do to support and help you that's going to make you a better version of yourself? That's the goal, right? And I think that's what community does. And I think Lloydminster, in many ways, with the people that we have in this community, is what we're doing. We've just got to be open to it and, you know, see it.
There was a time in my life where I could never imagine talking to strangers. You know what I mean? Like,
And
I
look
see
at
my,
you
I
now,
see my
right?
dad.
Like,
oh,
I see
yeah.
my dad do it. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Dad. Like, especially if he went up and started
Yeah, the
talking-
big eye roll.
Yeah, he started talking to, like, say he started talking to this beautiful woman on this, you know.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, what's Dad doing?
Yeah.
What's he going to say?
See, that's what my kids do with me all the time. They're like, they often
I'm
will
that
take
person.
their
There you
vehicle,
go.
right? They'll take their
Yes.
vehicle if we're going somewhere because they know that if we're waiting for Mom, we're
You're
never
waiting
getting
forever.
out of here. Like
Yeah.
we're, you know, and that's how I
Yep.
am. And but I don't know. I just think that there's so much more we need to learn about people, and we're better for it, and we learn more, and then we're better. And I just, it's important, right?
Yeah, my kids,
Sometimes
my kids
it
and
is
my
tough
husband.
waiting for Kathryn, though.
Yeah.
It's pretty tough waiting for Kathryn.
She's chit chatting again.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Here
actually,
she goes.
yeah. My husband will just
Kathryn,
go into the car.
show ended
and-
2 hours ago.
Yeah.
They're kicking us out of the theater.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, plates are gone.
But Jim, that must be you now with
yeah, I
being
was
on
gonna
city
say
council.
he says that about me.
Like, you
but
must have
come
people
on.
like you go to the
I-
grocery store and somebody's like, hey, I want to talk to you about this new arena, or I want to talk to you about this.
That's why you do what Dave Lopez says. Always have ice cream in your hand. Oh, gotta go! Ice cream's melting. No, it's
I think he's pulled that on me.
He may have. I think he's done it to me. You know, I got stopped last night. I was at a Startup Lloydminster Regional Business Network thing last night, and you know, I had somebody come by and we were just talking about things going on in Lloydminster, and I said, you know, I didn't get into city council because by mistake, right? It was wanting to get more involved and asking questions and wanting to know more about your community and having the history and those types of things. And that's what I tell people. You can come talk to me all you want. I don't make the final decision.
No.
Where if you want to get involved, go do it, right? Whether it's at city council level or getting to more about the city and why things are that way, or an event that's coming up, we need you. We need people. And that's what I think I've been saying the whole time. I may have said it back on the show, more people need to get involved.
Yeah.
We already have a big group. You could fill this building with the local Lloydminster people that are at every event and that want to support things. But that's not enough. You know, we need more people. We need the next generation. It's our parents' fault that we are involved with these types of things, right?
Yeah.
They'd be probably sitting right here if they could be.
Oh, absolutely.
Going, yeah, that's
Oh,
right. And
for sure.
your show would be 5 hours longer if my dad was here.
So
But-
if you ever wonder where we get it from, 100% my dad.
I got two parents that won't be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, we need more
Your
of those.
daughter's going to be like you too.
I think so.
Oh, she's bad,
Oh, yeah.
I think she's going to be the same way.
Yeah.
So I was out for a walk and I literally had no money on me. I had no money.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
And I walked by the house and her daughter was yelling. I didn't realize it was your daughter at first.
Yeah,
But she's
lemonade
yelling at
stand
me.
in front of Mom and Dad's.
I have
right.
my head down because I don't want these kids to ask me to come because I have no money. I'm just out for a walk. And what I was doing is actually going to Nissan because my brother's truck was there and he asked me to pick it up. He's getting an oil change. So I'm like, okay, I'll just walk down to Nissan, get the truck, right? And so they asked me, it was hotter than heck. And
Oh, it was.
Iced tea looked really good.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know what? I told your daughter, I said, I'm going to get my brother's truck. If he's got money in it, I will stop on my way back.
Yeah.
I wasn't 2 steps out of that truck, and your daughter came running over and went, he came back! He came back!
But how important is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And yeah.
My dad cannot pass a lemonade stand.
Nope.
So yeah.
But there's the show up piece. I
Come
think
back.
we have to show up for people,
up.
right? So how do you show up? How can you light somebody else's day up? What do you have to do to
Super
just
small.
show up?
Super
small
It's not
things.
a hard
It's
thing
not
to do,
hard.
right?
Nope.
I mean, you
Yeah.
bought a iced tea at a lemonade stand, right? Like that, and
And they
even
were
just
so
the reaction.
excited about that.
With my brother's money.
There you go. Hey, he could treat you to that.
That's awesome.
Small price to pay for
Yeah.
picking up his
That's
vehicle.
awesome.
What's city council been like, Jim? Has it been what you thought it would be?
Yeah, it didn't come with a time machine. That's what I was joking. I'm like, where's my time machine? I want to go back and make those changes.
Yeah.
So we're not having to deal with them today. No, it's great. Again, that group of people that we got that's sitting on council, they're all there because they want to be there. And what's interesting about city council, if you look at our city council as it sit, we have, we joke about it, and we were just at SUMA talking about it. We've got 5 graduates from Lloydminster Comprehensive High School that are sitting on council.
That's right.
Like it's really
Oh,
cool.
that's pretty
I
cool.
grew up with
And pretty
Michelle
much
around
that
corner.
same generation too.
Very-
Like
it's-
within
yeah,
2
we're
years.
quite close.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that.
We have a very unique story right now that we have a tight group. Again, left for school, came back, brought back their experiences, raised their families. You know, not all of them, everybody has a family yet or starting their families here, but that's been the really unique side of it. And then seeing 6 different perspectives, right, with all 6 council and our mayor there. And, you know, our mayor's not from Lloydminster, but he is from Lloydminster now. And seeing that all those different ideas come in and have, I think, again, having 6 different voices and 6 different perspectives around the table is really, really neat. We're not just saying people yelling the same thing or asking the same questions. You know, I'm thinking about the business community. I'm thinking about the families. I'm thinking those things. And everybody else is coming from a different angle. So when you're looking at what doesn't matter the subject, it's really neat to see that. So
It is.
there's a lot of hard stuff that comes up and a lot of the day-to-day things that really isn't that interesting. But knowing more and the history, being from here and knowing the personal history and now seeing the logistical history of where Lloydminster, why things are being done, that's really kind of sealed up a lot of things for me and answered a lot of questions. I think biggest thing is got rid of a lot of negativity. You know, if you don't know the history and people assume, you know, if you don't want to know the story.
Negativity for yourself?
Yeah, my own personal negativity on why things are being done in Lloydminster a certain way, right? So I didn't know the history. So what, you know, your natural human beings will just assume a situation without actually learning the story, right? Oh, I know all about that story. I know this. And you hear it at the coffee shops and the coffee times and those things. So getting to know the history and why it's done has just kind of gone full circle. Now you're going, okay, I get it. I get why this has to come down. I get why we have to build here. I get why we're growing, why we can't do this and those types of things. And that's kind of, again, going back to the community is, if you want to know, just ask. Right? And don't just sit there and assume, because assumptions turn to negativity. You don't need to assume, right? And so if you want to learn the story and you want to go find out, then you can find the positive in it and spin it and then go, oh, right, let's build it, let's go and figure it out, right? So
that's interesting, because I find, you know, when you say there's that many people from Lloyd sitting on City Council, I find that often the people who are the most negative about Lloyd are the ones who grew up here. You know, they're the ones who are like, oh.
And maybe didn't go experience other things yet, right? Maybe they haven't.
Maybe they haven't gone.
Maybe they're not at that point in life where they've traveled and gone. I've been in a lot of different cities and lived in some cities, and you just have to keep your eyes open and observe, see what's around you, and then bring it back, right? Like, you don't have to, hate Lloydminster because we have one road north and south, right?
I wonder if there's a piece of it too that, for me, just the conversations that we always have is people not knowing what's out there. And what's the best avenue for us to get the information out there? Like, not everybody is on Facebook or social media. When you think of, even, I'm thinking of ladies at the church, if they're not accessing that avenue, where do you go for the information, right? When you think of events in Lloydminster, the event calendar that's actually on the city website, is there a one kind of place that we should all be dumping stuff in? Because there's
it's called
just
Live with Kurt Price.
Yes, that's right. But there's so much stuff going on, right? You can't nab everything, right? But where could I go? Like, I know my mother-in-law who's nearing 80. If she could just open up the calendar, like something, a paper copy that said every day had this, this, and that, and everything else on, and not have to navigate the technology piece, she'd be very happy about that, right? There's a lot
similar
of stuff
what's
going
happening
on.
with the Hub of Healing, though, and I feel selling advertising. You've been in advertising forever. I sold advertising and signage in town here. And there's never been one place to go to. Sometimes it's competition, right? It is a business, right? And it's the same thing, with the Hub of Healing is you're never going to get everybody to get on the same page to find out all the events. You've got to do some work. And we say this the same way at City Council. If you want to learn more, it's kind of up to you two.
You got to figure it out.
It's an open meeting. You can come and look. You can do some research. You can come and find. We've got some great places in Lloyd that do advertise all the events, and shows like this help, right? And they help get the events out there.
For sure.
But if you're not willing to take the time to sit and watch watch the show or to go do it, can't help you. I'm sorry. Sometimes you're just too closed off to be open to it and see what else is going on outside your door. So sometimes it's going back to the people that do want to complain. Oh, I didn't know that was going on. Wow, that's too bad. Well, they didn't advertise in the place I wanted. It's never gonna be easy. Right? Let's work together on it.
I hate to be selfish, but a lot of times I look at our followers, and who we have as live in Lloydminster, and I look at those people and I go, I know that person cares about this. I know that person cares about this. I know this person. You know what I mean? I can look at and pinpoint our followers and go, these people are people who care about our community. They're the ones that I want to reach.
For sure.
The ones that I want to talk to. You mentioned events. I love asking this question. Is there an event, Lana, in Lloyd that you won't miss? Every year, this is the event. This is the one that you love going to. We can start with Kathryn because I know what hers is going to be. But
do you?
I'm pretty sure. You have a lot of events, but there's one big one at the Vic that you do every year that I think.
Like, are you talking about my shows or?
Like if there's a big event.
Do you want to know what my answer was actually going to be? Is the parade and the fair. We will never miss it ever.
That's interesting.
Absolutely. Like we have our spot where we sat pretty much in the same spot even with our parents, and now we sit across the street because we get the shade, but we won't miss the like even my grown kids, like my oldest is 16 now, and I'm like, we're going to the parade, guys, come on. I won't miss the
that's awesome. That's because your parents go down the day before and hold their spot.
They hold our spots for us. They'll do that too, and the fair, and speaking of people that criticize things and stuff, they get so much flack for what they do there, and I'm like,
at the fair? And they do a great job. Listen, new people all the time, volunteers every year.
Yes. It's
I love the fair.
It's great. I didn't this year because apparently I wasn't cool enough to ride the rides with my kids. But last year I bought a wristband, And I did all those. I was there all day long.
Crazy.
I felt it the next day.
I
I was like,
bet you
that was a bad
She's
idea.
just going for a free wristband from Jackie this year.
No, I pay for my wristbands, so we get them ahead of time at the mall. So, but yeah, no, we won't miss it.
How about you, Lana? Did you give you enough
I
time
guess
to-
when I think of just my B. Fisher role, just sitting on the foundation and all of the events that we run, like obviously because I'm coordinating and doing that, I'm not going to miss it. But if there's a ladies' night of something,
like the romper.
well,
the
and
Mrs.
one
Romper's
week,
romper.
I need more
we
information
sold
on
those
that.
tickets out in one
did
week.
you
What
sell
a
out
great
already?
idea.
In one,
You didn't get it either?
I didn't get
in
it.
1 week we sold out.
I didn't know they were on sale
Ladies'
yet.
nights for me, I think are.
Yes.
It's a no. Yeah, you're going.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a nice way
Yeah.
to. I don't know.
Are you
Network.
going to have one Stanley there?
It's a surprise. It's a surprise. We actually had a lady that contacted us from Edmonton. They wanted to come down highway and come to our event. And when we told her that we were sold out, she said, I don't care what you have to do. Can you put another table? Can you do something? Because I have 8 women. We want to come.
Oh man.
Very
And I'm
cool.
like,
Very
so yeah, under a week we sold out.
That's awesome.
So
That
anyway,
doesn't- that
ladies'
doesn't-
nights for me.
That
I
doesn't
just
surprise me. I had it on my. I saw it, and then
Yeah.
well, as soon as September starts,
you just go.
Well, it's Lloydminster.
I know.
We never sell out anything till the last.
It's true.
Last minute.
Yeah.
Lloyd.
Well,
It's true.
Deanna texted me because Deanna's on
Oh, yeah.
our committee, and she said, "This is unbelievable.
Good.
Like we've never done this, right? Like a sellout
cool.
in like
It looks
a,
fun.
That's awesome.
It does look
It looks
fun.
like so
Yeah.
much fun. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Jim, is there an event for you and Lloyd that you look
Well-
forward to each and every year?
I look forward to a lot of events. I miss a lot of events, and I think that's the hard part. Is being a small business owner and you don't get to all of them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one event that stands out to me that I have to get to, just because I do intend on trying to get to them all. I'm looking at my clock because there's stuff starting at 11:30 and another grand opening for a business in the afternoon here, and so I think there's not one event that I have to get to. I want to go to all of them, and there's so many that you want to be there and you want to support them all, and you do want to go to all of them. But yeah, there's not exactly one that stands out for me, but I'll be there if I can.
Well, on that note, I want to thank you all for being here.
Yeah,
Really
thank you.
appreciate you giving us some of your time today and giving back to the community as well. And we'll tell you about another event before we wrap things up. We just want to remind you that the Community Health Night meeting is tonight at the Legacy Center. Doors open at 6:30 and things get started at 7. There's some presentations. Derek Miller will be there with Saskatchewan Health. Julie Pemberton is the VP now. She will be there from Saskatchewan Health, of course, and Christine Sewell will be there from AHS. And there is an opportunity to ask your questions tonight. Once again, thanks to our guests, Lana Lane, Kathryn Edwards, and Jim Taylor for being here in downtown Lloydminster at the Border City PROspectives at Border City Furniture, your 100% locally owned and operated furniture store in Lloydminster.